down the ride, never tired. You will never know. You ain't never tried. Work it out. Hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Got it.
Off the play fake. Mayer. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. On the completion, this is Carey. Touchdown, Vikings! In for the score as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. They're going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And taken at the 46. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on a 6-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180. One, Omaha.
Sony Michel, his first carry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty.
Let's get out the field, defense.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They run it with Jacobs. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big.
18, Gator, go!
Hey, 17's yours. Watch 17.
Hey, Echo!
Slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
From the gun on 3rd down. Mayer. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Play action. Garoppolo. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those two hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 41 yards. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
1st down, Green Bay.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 10-yard line.
Tucson.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready to break.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the 1st down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. Garoppolo finding Green complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Michelle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. To throw is Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3 sacks, yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
At the 9-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Go! Hey, orbit!
Here's 2nd and 8. And he will find his man on the outside. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
First down, Packers.
Let's go. 90, Wolf.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Back to throw. Mayer. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check 26, check 26.
On second down, Jacobs.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on third down, Mayer. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
First down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
X3, 218, top.
Mike, 55.
Operating from the gun, Mayer. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Off-play action. Mayer going up top. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards.
First down, Green Bay.
Hey, Alpha.
Throwing on first down. Mayer. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Hey, box drop, box drop.
55. Right there in the middle, 55.
Now.
Looking to throw. Mayer. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 21 yards away, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Extra point splits the uprights. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check 31, check 31. 11. 2.
Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
At the 27-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Here's Garoppolo to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you...
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Okay, break. Tight right. Everyone's got 4 down.
To throw on 2nd down. Mayer. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, 4 down. Check 43.
Back to throw. Mayer. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. He got 29 yards that time. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Mayer. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Let's go, D.
Again, it's Michelle. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here we go. 180.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And able to find Green. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. The run there on 1st down gets him a yard to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Mayer is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He won't go down.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On first down, Mayer. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Mayer. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That's good for 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Buying time to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again. Mayer. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Martinez. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, wahoo! Ready?
From the gun, Mayer. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Mayer. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 12. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Garoppolo now. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Here we go.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, they run with Michel. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And this one is right through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Mayer. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And Diggs has it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Going for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Got some room at the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Here we go. 180.
Second down 6 at the 36-yard line.
Block.
Garoppolo looking to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Michelle. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last point of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, the win won't get them to 500, but they will finish on a high note at 7-9. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it's been a sinking ship all season as they finally draw the curtain on what will be a 1-15 year. And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.